Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to my closet. Yes, I'm literally sitting inside my closet today because they are doing landscaping outside and it's super loud and annoying and I wanted to record a video. So I am sitting in my closet at the moment. And actually it's kind of funny because it reminded me of the movie War Room, where she has a prayer room in her closet. So anyway, we are in my closet today. And I wanted to talk about a verse and a couple things that the Lord laid on my heart last night. And it's funny because sometimes in the middle of the night, I don't know if I'm awake. I don't know if it's a dream. Sometimes you're in that middle state of half awake, half not. But the verse that kept running through my mind was Matthew 5:6, and it says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." And obviously, this is part of the Sermon on the Mount where the Lord gives us the Beatitudes and basically explains the right way of living as a Christian, the inner attitudes of the heart and how we should live. And if you read through this in Matthew chapter 5, you'll see a lot of these things are polar opposite of what our world that we live in looks like. So when he's talking about those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, they will be filled. What does that mean? What does that look like? And so I started doing some research on this, jotted down some notes that I wanted to share with you guys. And there was actually kind of a funny twist that the Lord threw in. So as I'm writing down these notes, I hear the words thirst trap. And some of you may have not heard of that phrase before. Maybe a lot of you do know what that means. Obviously, I knew that it had some type of sexual reference to it, but I looked up the definition online and it literally says, really more specific to social media, but it's a post that's made, whether it's a photo or some type of, I'm alone tonight and whatever, some type of comment or photo that entices a viewer sexually, and it draws on that viewer's desperation, therefore making them thirsty. And so anyway, as I'm writing these notes, I'm like, what does thirst trap have to do with this verse being hungry and thirsty? Like, what in the world? Like, why did the Lord bring that to my attention? So anyway, after I looked up thirst trap, it was like the Lord was just drawing things out of what are people in this world hungry and thirsty for. So if we think of it from a natural perspective in the world that we live in and not look at it from a biblical perspective, like what are those things that people are hungry and thirsty for? And so I jotted down a list of just a couple things. I wrote down people are hungry for wealth, power, fame, recognition, prosperity, popularity, sex, relationships, possessions. Like those are things that the people in the world, that's what they hunger after. That's what they long for. Those are the things that drive them on. Those are the things that this world thrives on. That's what this world runs on. It's who can have the most followers, who can have the most likes, who can be the most well-known celebrity and have all the wealth in the world. Like all of those things in the world, that's what people are hungry and thirsty for. And so when you think of this thirst trap, it really is a trap. Even though that's speaking to sexual enticement, people can be thirsty for wealth, for fame, for recognition. They could be hungry for the same thing. But at the end of the day, all of that stuff is a trap. And so when the Lord was speaking to me about Matthew 5:6, just during the night and this morning, it was just like, what does that really look like for us as believers? What does being hungry and thirsty for righteousness really mean for us on a daily basis in this crazy world that we live in? And so as I was just doing a little researching, it's talking about more of an active, not a passive, fervent seeking of the Lord. So every single day when we wake up, Do we look forward to spending time with the Lord? Do we look forward to spending time in prayer, in Bible study, in fellowship with other believers? Are we actively going after righteousness? Are we thirsting after that? Are we hungry to know the Lord more and to be transformed in his likeness? Like, are we hungry and are we thirsty for that? And so it made me think of all the things that this world is hungry and thirsty for. Are we going after those things of the world, or are we hungry and thirsty for righteousness? So to be hungry and thirsty is really to possess just an active spiritual longing for more of the Lord on a daily basis. So the verse starts out with blessed. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. So what does blessed mean? And ultimately, it's a deep, joy-filled contentment. And isn't that what everyone's looking for? Those that are hungering and thirsting for the things of this world, they're looking for deep joy. They're looking for contentment. They're looking for that next thing that will satisfy them. All the while, they don't understand that only the Lord can satisfy that deep longing inside of them. So really, even though they're on this relentless rat race to true joy and to true contentment, they'll never find it because they're hungering and thirsting after the wrong thing. But this verse tells us right here that those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, they will be filled and they will be blessed. So you will have that deep joy and contentment. And I found a paraphrase of this verse that I wanted to read, and it says, "Deeply joyful and spiritually whole are those who actually seek right relationship with God, and in so doing discover that He alone can completely save and satisfy their soul." So I want to ask you today, what are you hungry and thirsty for? Is it the traps of this world? Wealth, fame, popularity, subscribers, likes? Maybe you want more comments. I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it's sex. Maybe it's relationships. What are those traps of this world that maybe you are hungering and thirsting for that you don't even realize it? Let's shift our focus today and hunger and thirst after righteousness, after God, knowing that He will fill us completely, full of deep joy, that deep longing inside of us for those things that don't satisfy. He will fill that void. Don't fall into a thirst trap. Don't fall into a hunger trap of this world, but be transformed as you pursue the Lord every single day. So thank you guys for joining me in my closet today. I know it's a bit out of the norm, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. So God bless. I hope you guys are having a great week. And until next time, we'll see ya.